Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me some.
Good day, madam.
Show me some.
Good
Show
day,
me some.
sir.
How are you, bud?
I am ignited, officially ignited. The team just came off of 4 days. The last 4 days of last week was like a record, I think, ever, like over a 4-day period.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
That's exciting.
I know.
I need to find out what you're doing so we can have a record 4 days as well.
What?
We had a record 4 days of recruiting.
Oh,
We brought on, Miranda, 84 people this past
stop
week.
it.
No kidding. So that was a
I want to
record.
bring on 84 people. So we're both breaking records in different areas. Boom. I'm right.
I love it. So yeah, I'm excited. I know that I got a new computer and I really love this thing, Mer. It's the iMac. It's the 2024 iMac edition. The screen's massive. So I gotta it's gonna make me readjust my whole arena back here. So you're maybe in the next episode or two, we're gonna see a new background for John.
Ooh. Is it pink?
Same idea.
Is it pink? Or do you get a color, or is it what color?
Do you want me to do pink?
I have pink. I know I have pink this on iMac, but it's pink. And the keyboard's pink.
Oh, you have an iMac too.
Yeah, it's pink.
Oh, no, I went with the all silver one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can unplug this thing, huh? You can unplug it and it'll still work?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, it does. It's just disconnected.
2024. Look at that. Wow.
So, all right, so I'm learning here. But you also are doing some new additions to your room, I saw.
So I used to have a vision board, and then I decided that wasn't big enough when I moved into this house. And so my whole wall in my bedroom is a vision wall. And it's crazy because I have to be really careful what I put on there because it all happens. All of it, it'll happen. Just a matter of time. But did you know that law of attraction can also work against you?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever thought like, oh, something bad is going to happen, and then it does?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be really careful. So I use all of mine for good, and it's all like awesome stuff going up there. And I use mixed tiles, and I get pictures printed, and I stick it yeah, it's a big deal. It's gonna take a little bit. So.
Well, I love it. I love it so much. So speaking of law of attraction, that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So I just told everyone that we had a record-breaking week of 84 people that we hired, and I think it's this message, Miranda, that we're running throughout our team on a very consistent basis. And I'm going to give everyone, I truly do believe that this is the secret to your success. It's going to be the secret to their success. This is, if you're not doing this, you're doing your new agents a disservice. Okay. And do you have our timer, bud? Do you got us going?
Kind of.
Okay, it's okay. All right,
you had me so engaged with, if you're not doing this, I was just so captivated that I forgot to hit the time. Okay, good.
All right, so it's okay. So I got it. And I remember the old banter guy that yelled at us for bantering. So
the one post out of like 10,000 weeks of or 10,000 listeners a week. The one comment really pissed them off.
Yeah, I'm hanging on to it. So I know that there was about 2.5 minutes of banter, so we're good. But so seriously though, bud, like if people aren't doing this, you're drastically dropping the ball. I think that the beauty of this business is that we get to learn from people that have made the mistakes before us, so we don't make those mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And I am telling you right now, is that when you are bringing people into your organizations, when you're bringing people into this business, you have to get them sold on recruiting right away. If you don't, you're doing them a disservice. How many sales agents, Miranda, have we seen come and go?
Lots, yeah.
How many builders have we seen come and go? The builders stay around, don't they? And we've had sales agents that come in here and make 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 in their first year, and they're gone, right? And it's why, it's because of the roller coaster of emotions that you go with through the sales. And I'll tell you this right now is that I recruited Dave Lappin and Dave recruited Chris Fernandez, right? And I had a couple of people, and even when I was 90 days in, I was this close to quitting. But I think it was because of them as to why I didn't quit. And so how do we sell people on the idea of building right out of the gate? And then what do we do with that information? And I think that this is so important to the success of your organization, to the success of your agency. And so I want to talk about that for just a second, Miranda. So I think that there are two ways that we can bring agents on, bud, right? Way number one is that, and I'm going to ask this question, Miranda, during the interview. I'm going to say, okay, Miranda, there are two different types of agents that come in here. Which agent would you prefer to be? There's an agent that comes in here, kind of wants to do everything by themselves, Mer. They want to do everything alone. So they're going to come in here. They might hop on some conference calls, but they're gonna be alone. They're gonna make their dials every single week. They're gonna set up appointments. They're gonna sit with families. They're gonna kind of struggle to figure out this process kind of alone. And that's just kind of how it goes. Every single week, you're going to have to buy leads. Every single week, you're going to have to sit with families. Every single week, you're going to have to set appointments, sit with families. Every single week, you're going to have to make sales. You're going to have to follow up on pending business. Miranda, when you go on vacation and you take off for that week and then you come back, you're not making any money, right? And every single time you kind of take off and you stop that momentum, you interrupt it, there's just that lag that you're going to have to deal with, right?
Sounds fun.
That's one agent. And then you have the other agent, the agent that wants to come in here and truly change their life. It's the other agent that wants more for themselves. It's the agent that is tired of there being too much month to their money. They came here, they want to impact people. They want to make a difference. They want to serve a purpose. They want to impact families. They want more. And those are the type of people that come in here and they start building something. Miranda, let me ask you this. How much different would your life be every month if you didn't have to worry about your mortgage payment, if you didn't have to worry about your car payment, and if you didn't have to worry about a grocery bill? Would you agree that life would be drastically different? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So which agent do you kind of prefer? Would you prefer to kind of be that person that, like, it would be so much nice if I didn't have to worry about a mortgage. It would be so much nice. It would be so much better if I didn't have to worry about a mortgage, grocery. And if I went on vacation, I came back, there was more money deposited into my account than when I left. Would you want to be that agent or the other type of agent that I first discussed?
That one that has more.
Okay. So that's what we're going to do then, Miranda. There's going to be a lot that you're going to be thrown at in this business. You're going to be thrown this idea of dialing and figuring that out, meeting with families and figuring that out perspective. But we're also going to add an element to building. You're going to start building your agency literally right away. Now, I'm going to pause for just a second, just kind of on this idea. Now I told him what we're going to be doing. Now, Miranda, we have to have the resources to be able to bring those people and get them plugged into cold market recruiting, right? So now you're going to have to build a co-op, which is what I recommend everyone to do. Here's the thing. All right, Miranda, what are we told all the time in this business? This isn't an addition business. We have to get to what as quick as we possibly can.
Multiplication.
That's correct. But if you're just bringing people on, aren't you just adding to your business? The only way that we multiply is bringing people on and then them bringing people on, correct? So we want to get this into a multiplication business as quick as we possibly can. Most people, when they build, all they're doing is just adding people. I don't want you guys adding people. I want you guys multiplying, right? And so I want you to also think about the difference between an agent that is building and an agent that is not, Miranda. Now, I'll pause there for just a second because I've been kind of talking at you for 5 minutes. Is there anything that you want to add before I kind of jump into the segment of it?
No, I think that, well, I do have a rebuttal, but I'm sure you're going to get to that in a second. About like, well, I want to wait to do it type deal. Like, I do want to build, but first let's just kind of see how I do. But I'm sure you're going to cover that.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we will definitely get into that. So again, like here's the thing, Mer, is that when you are just an agent alone, what happens? We get caught up in how tough these leads are, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Like these leads are tough in the beginning because we're buying leads that we kind of cut our teeth with, right? And then we get kind of caught up of like fear, and we get scared, we get worried, and then we get caught up and entrapped in those thoughts. You were just talking about that law of attraction. That's what kind of led into this. Is that law of attraction is if you're constantly worried about where your next deposit's going to come from, worried about protecting that family, don't know if you can do it, you kind of got like this hopelessness that kind of sets in. So you had that in the beginning of this, didn't you, for your first 5 weeks, how tough this business was? And were you constantly kind of in your head? Were you in that thought process where there's so much fear-based and scaresome and like, what am I doing? And I don't know if I'm going to make this. That's what a lot of people think and feel. Well, let me ask you this, Mer. Law of attraction. When I'm sitting there and I'm recruiting every single day, am I talking about how tough these leads are? No. Am I talking about how I only dialed for 20 minutes today? Am I talking about how scared I am about this opportunity and how it might not come fruition? Am I talking about the fact that I don't even know if I can do this? Or am I talking about hope? Am I talking about the vision? Am I talking about the future? Am I talking about Miranda Martin and how awesome she is and how she's changed her life? Am I talking about the agency owner and Dave Lappin or Mark Nadeau or Larry Grossman or Frank the Tank, right? Am I talking about all of these people that are doing all of these amazing things around me and how excited I am because I'm on my way of becoming there? I'm excited about what this opportunity holds for me. So do you see how we start saying out loud and telling ourselves these different narratives? And do you see how important the one narrative is?
Yeah.
Okay. That is the importance of getting people to recruit right away. It's not it's actually going to get you there faster because you don't know if you can be able to do it. But if you sit in your mind and you sit in that scarcity mindset and you sit constantly worrying and you sit the fear-based all the time, it's going to be, this journey is going to be harder for you. But if you sit in that light and that positivity and the optimism and kind of where this business is going to go, that's where it ends up happening. So that's where we always say that an agent is not an agent until they have an agent. And that goes all the way up in this business. An agency owner is not an agency owner until they have one. Look at the way our company works. I'm at the top contract level. I don't have somebody at the top yet. An equity partner, a direct, is not a direct until they have a direct. And that's why you become an equity partner. So does that kind of idea make sense or not necessarily?
That idea, that was our last podcast. I love that idea. Yes, it does. No, it really, really does. And you know, what's funny is we don't want to be the best person here at, you know, like Marshall Whalen, he's like, you ask him what his secret to success is, and he says, I got a lot of people to meetings and I always found people that were better than I am at this thing. Like, and so it's like a lot of times people, I want to wait. You don't need to wait. Like, don't you want to find a handful of people better than you at this thing, you know? And then you still don't know what you're doing, but you don't need to be the best at it.
That's correct. Right? It's so true.
So, but
again, yeah, go ahead.
No, and then as far as like when you're talking to people, I remember, John, there's been so many days when I didn't really have the best day, and let's say no one showed up, or I got no one picked up the phone, or I got told no a lot, whatever. But then I talked to a really awesome recruit, win, right? That's you collecting the W's all day long, win. If I wasn't recruiting, I would have felt like that day sucked because I found like a good person or two. It was like, that day was awesome, right? Yeah. So there's so many things that level it out instead of it us all being in our head about production. Anyone can go anywhere and sell, right? Anyone can get a sales job. Can you go anywhere and number one, dream, right? Actually dream, okay? Which we do here. And it's so funny because a lot of people haven't even dreamt in such a long time since they were a little kid because you can't. What's the point? You can't make it true. and then actually have a roadmap in order to make those dreams a reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
So
know,
good.
it was funny. My boyfriend, we were watching playing this game, this card game. I think I might have talked about this one time, John, where it said, if in your backyard, if you won the lottery, what would you put in your backyard? And he said, I would put like a pool that has like a grotto and like this swim up bar. And I go, we don't gotta win the lottery for that. We just gotta have a good one. What's that work?
Yeah.
You know,
It is.
it's wild. It's wild. You know, you don't need to win the lottery here. You just have to do good at work.
You won the lottery. Now just get to work. But no, and what you said too is just, it's so spot on, because like, and I'm going to tie it back to it. It's like, here's the thing, right? Is that because we are talking about so much positive, and so like we're going to exude that, and we start picking up the wins, because the reality is recruiting helps production, production helps recruiting. Right, because you're gonna get on there and talk about how awesome everything is, and how amazing, and the opportunity, and how you can dream again, how you can be hopeful, how you can have all these things, and how you can make $10,000 in a week, right? You can. That's something that you can do here. And then now all that positive transitions to your production. So then you start producing, right? And then now it's like, oh my God, now because I've talked hopeful and I've talked positive and I put all that out there, now I start winning over here. And then guess what? The wins over here, they increase the recruiting, because now you are actually doing it. So for those of you that want to wait until you get good, you're never going to get good. I mean, you will by listening to the podcast. But the way you get better faster is by doing it, because you're going to learn together with the people that you're bringing on. So
this is the same guy that told everyone at Ignite that they sucked at smiling. Sorry.
Yeah. So some of you did suck at smiling, but seriously, I think that is such a solid message. And you know what? Here's the thing too. If you know how to start building cold market recruiting for yourself, start adding to it. And there's several different ways that you can go about it. A way that we do it, Miranda, is when we bring somebody on that's coming that we get to start recruiting, we give them kind of like the first month for free. We promise them 100 recruits for the month. And then after that first month, we just charge them $500 a month, you know, and that subsidizes the cost. Remember, this is a teammate, you know, and so we're going to have that platform for them to be able to plug into. We take that $500 a month, we dump it right back into the resources to make sure that we have enough. So if you can get yourself 25 interviews a week, you can get yourself 50 to add one. You can get yourself 75 to add another person. So do it, make it happen. I promise you, it'll change your life in this business. You will go from addition to multiplication. And once you get to multiplication, that's where this business becomes fun. And the people around you will have better energy. The people around you won't come to you crying as much and complaining and moaning and groaning, because they're now focused on other people. I promise, start doing this. And it'll help you not suck at sales and recruiting. Thank you guys so much for listening. We truly appreciate all of the comments and all the love and all the outpouring that you guys are giving us. If you want to contact us individually, if you have certain questions for us about this particular episode, or if you have questions about anything, any ideas, tips, or tricks that you want to share with us, please click the link below. You'll have a direct access link to Miranda and a direct access link to myself.
Yep, keep the ideas coming, guys, because anything that we can do to help you not suck at sales, well, that's our mission. So it's a wrap.
I go for that gusto, losing ain't an option. Check a bag and make deposits and deposits and deposits. You see me shining.